Welcome to Sunday Night Live with Allison and Colleen. Now here's Colleen with tonight's news.
Thank you, Allison. Today we've been talking about the Persian War, the Delian League, and the achievements from the Golden Age.
Watch the whole show to get a special treat, an interview with two special guests, Pericles and Darius first.
First, Allison and I will be talking about the Persian War. Then you'll get to see an interview with Darius the First on the battlefield.
After, we'll talk about the achievements of the Golden Age and then interview with Pericles.
Then more achievements on the Golden Age. Finally, you'll get to see what happens at the middle and end of the Persian War.
The classical period, or Golden Age of Greece, was from around 500 to 400 BCE. The Golden Age of Greece has given us the great monuments, art, philosophy, architecture, art, and literature, which are the building blocks of our own civilization.
After today's episode of Sunday Night Live, you will be a master on the Golden Age.
I hope you enjoy Sunday Night Live.
Stay tuned because after this commercial break, we'll be talking about the beginning of the Persian War and the Battle of Marathon.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Live. First, let's talk about the Golden Age. In 490 to 480 BCE, the Persian War began, and the Greeks were threatened by the people called the Persians. The Persians were expanding their land and wanted to conquer the Greek territory. In 546 BCE, the Persians conquered the Ionian states on the west coast of Asia Minor.
In 500 to 499 BC, the Ionians became disconnected with the Persian rule. The Ionians were helped by a naval force of the Athens and Eretria, in which they rebelled. The Ionians were successful at first, but the Persians eventually crushed their revolt. This was the start of a series of wars between the Greeks and the Persians, which lasted from 490 to 449 BC. Now back to you, Allison, with the news about the Battle of Marathon.
The Persians were mad and were not going to forgive Athens and Eretria for helping the Ionians. In 490 BC, King Darius crushed Eretria. When Darius landed at Marathon, a place on the coast northeast of Athens, the Athenians and their allies raised an army of 10,000 troops, led by the general called Metellus. Although the Greeks were heavily outnumbered by the Persians, they won the battle. Metellus' superior military tactics and strength of the hoplite helped them win the Battle of Marathon.
When the Greeks won, they sent a runner from the battlefield to tell the people of Athens they had won. When the runner got to Athens, he yelled "Knight," which means victory. Then he fell to the ground dead of exhaustion after running 26 miles.
Now let's go talk with the very own Darius the First, live at the battlefield. I hope you enjoyed watching Allison and Colleen talk about the Battle of Marathon on Sunday Night Live. Now to the interview with Darius the First.
Go.
Hi there, it's Allison with my fellow co-worker Colleen on Sunday Night Live.
That's right, Allison, and tonight we will be going over to Allison with the interview of Darius the First.
Darius the First is the one who overthrew the previous ruler Guatemala.
He was the one who made the Persian Empire a tyrant, which means he seized it by force.
It's not the best way to become a ruler, but it sure did work for him because he accomplished a lot of things in his dynasty.
Darius was able to strengthen some nomadic tribes and make them better than they were before.
During the reign of Darius, he was at his peak of his empire, which means he was ruling when the empire was at its best.
It must have been a hard task ruling a government at its peak because they were having all the best things and accomplishments.
Even though Darius was a great ruler, he didn't make his best accomplishments as a ruler. He made them as an administrator.
Even though he didn't make his best accomplishments as a ruler and as an administrator, he still did something that helped.
When Darius started ruling, he was only 32.
That's not too young, but it wasn't too old either.
Darius ended up being the one that found a new place and made the new capital.
That's another really big accomplishment that had during his dynasty. And now to Allison, who will be interviewing this greatly succeeded ruler, Darius the First.
Thanks, guys. I'm here in the palace where Darius lives, and soon we'll be joining him for an interview about his thoughts and dreams, about what he has done, and what he will end up doing in the distinct future of his reign. And now, here with none other than Darius himself.
Hi there, Allison. It is great to be here and to be able to get interviewed about my life and what I have done. It just feels so good.
That sounds interesting. And now I will ask you some questions.
Sounds good. I'm happy to answer them. Now let's walk around the palace while we talk so that we don't get bored and tired during the interview.
Okay, so what do you think you did the best so far while you had ruled?
Well, that would be hard to choose, but I will have to think that the best thing that I did would have to be that I'm ruling in the peak of this dynasty. So it would be when I went to the expedition to punish Athens and Eurytia for their aid in the Minoan revolt and subjugate Greece.
That's pretty impressive, and I can see how you would choose that.
Yeah, I just think that because going on the expedition just affected everyone in this whole community, and would be great that I was able to do that.
Now for the second question. What do you think you could do in the future of society?
Something that I could do in the future. I never really thought of that far yet, but if I could improve this place in the future, I would have to make the armies and defenses much stronger so that we could ensure that we never are able to get overthrown.
Thanks, and now on to the Golden Age achievements.
Hi, I'm Colleen. I'm here to tell you about the achievements of the Golden Age.
Pericles became ruler after the Persian War. Pericles wanted Athens to become the skull of Greece. He built many buildings, like schools and theaters.
The most famous building in Athens is the Parthenon. The Parthenon is a temple on top of Acropolis, a hill center of the Athens. The Parthenon was painted with pictures of Greeks and wars. The Parthenon was made out of marble.
Pericles invited people to Athens to make art and help make schools. Athenian builders wanted Athens to become more beautiful.
Temples were named gymnasiums, schools, and theaters. People started to decorate buildings and houses with paintings and different types of art about Athens' history. They also hung up murals.
Herodotus was the first person in Athens to write about the Persian War.
Herodotus explained what he wrote about the Persian War. He wanted to put it down his history.
Cephalus wrote plays and tragedies, serious plays, and comedies. He also made fun of political leaders and traditional ideas.
Scientists came to Athens to study human life and nature. What the people found changed the way they saw the world.
One of the greatest scientists, Hippocrates, found the sickness came from natural causes. Before his time, people thought the illnesses were punishments from the gods.
Now let's go to the interview with Pericles. Hi, I'm Colleen here with Pericles. I'll be asking about how he thinks the Athens is doing under his rule and what he thinks about himself. Then we will ask him about the Delian League.
Hello, Colleen. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So Pericles, how do you think Athens has been doing in the recent years?
In my opinion, Athens has thrived in the recent years. We rebuilt many things that the Persians destroyed when they attacked us. For example, we rebuilt the Acropolis and with it the Parthenon.
Interesting. It seems that in the recent years, Athens has been rebuilding from the Persian invasions.
That's correct. The Persians had a much stronger army than ours, but we used strategy to beat them. Also, our navy was significantly stronger than theirs, and we were able to defeat them in the water.
Seems like it was a hard-fought battle, and you were able to force the Persians to retreat. Now let me ask you, what do you think of yourself as a leader of Athens?
Well, I don't want to brag, but I think of myself as the best leader that Athens has ever had.
You really think highly of yourself.
As I said before, I don't want to brag, but I am superior to many other Greek rulers. For example, I'm a strong military leader and I helped lead the Greeks into battle against the Persians. Also, I rebuilt lots of Greek architecture after the Persians attacked. For example, I rebuilt the Acropolis and the Parthenon.
Didn't you say that you wanted the Athens to be an education for all of Greece?
Yes, I did say that. By saying that, I meant that I wanted all the other city-states of Greece to follow our lead to start rebuilding so that we could build an empire that was stronger than all others.
That's interesting. Are you saying that Athens was the strongest of all city-states?
Yes, Athens was the strongest, and with a great ruler like me. Yes, I'm not bragging. So as I was saying, our government contributed to our success. I believe that democracy is the best form of government, but only works if it is true democracy like ours, which is why our government is called a democracy, because the power is not in the hands of a minority, but is in the hands of the whole population.
I can tell that you have strong beliefs that democracy is the best kind of government.
Yes, part of the reason that we beat the Persians battle as because we had a successful government.
Did you worry about another attack from the Persians?
Yes, we did. This is why we formed the Delian League.
What exactly was the Delian League?
The Delian League was a league that we formed. It included many of the Greek city-states. All the city-states had equal power, but we Athens were the head of the Delian League and had more power than other city-states.
Did the city-states need to do something so that they could show their loyalty to the league?
Yes, all city-states were supposed to donate warships and soldiers. Many just donated money because it was easy for them that way.
Interesting. So did this league succeed in preventing Persian attacks?
Yes, it worked very well, because after the league was formed, there were no more Persian attacks.
Since there no longer a threat of Persian attacks, what happened to the league?
Well, since there were no longer the threat of the Persian attack, the league turned into a mini Athenian empire. Since we had the most power in the league, it was like an empire.
Oh, so were the other city-states that were in the league happy?
Well, I wouldn't say that they were happy. Some city-states started to rebel because they were not happy that the Athens had so much power.
Well, thank you for your time, Perseus. Now back to the studio.
Oh,
Hi, I'm Colleen here in Alton. We're going to talk about the Golden Age of Athens, which is also called the Age of Pericles.
After the Greeks found out that illness were not from the gods, they were from the old age, or being not healthy, all Greeks were advised to stay healthy. The doctors told the people to reduce vegetables to a minimum.
Pericles lived from 495 BC and died in 429 BC.
The people built most elaborate buildings out of marble and Greek columns.
The temples are the biggest and the most beautiful.
The Greek artists used kilns to make pottery. They also put the kiln up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
A common thing the Greeks used in kilns was vases.
The Greeks used vases to hold flowers to decorate the houses, hold water to drink at meals, and hold wine at special occasions.
Pericles' name meant surrounded by glory.
Culture flourished under his command.
Pericles transformed his city's alliances into an empire.
Pericles' father was Paulus. He was a hero of the Persian War.
Pericles' mother belonged to the culturally powerful Alcmandi family.
Pericles led a successful military campaign in Corinth and sponsored the establishment of Athenian colonies.
The Delian League was formed in 479 BC. Welcome back. We are now in the 6th century BC, and we are in a series of wars between the Greeks and Persians.
The year is 480 BC. We have just started the Battle of Thermopylae. It's between the Greeks and the Xerxes army.
It's in a small mountain pass called Thermopylae, where a small army of Spartans and Boeotians, led by King Leonidas, are preventing the Persians from getting through.
But a Greek trader showed another route around the pass. Leonidas knew that he was surrounded, so he sent most of his soldiers back.
He fought with few troops, and he was hopelessly outnumbered, and unfortunately everyone was killed.
Next is the destruction of Athens.
The leader, Themistocles, was determined to fight the Persians at sea, so he withdrew his troops and let the Persians seize the city.
They murdered the remaining Athens and burned their cities.
The Battle of Salamis in Plateau in 480 BC was a sea battle where the Athens led them into a channel. There the Greeks took them by surprise, and after a long, hard-fought war, the Persians were defeated.
The Greek Navy army attacked and burned the Persian fleet, while it was beached at Mycale on the coast of Asia Minor.
This marked the end of the Persian invasion.
In the end, the wars did not come to immediate end. They still continued to dislike each other and continued to fight. The Delian League signed a peace treaty with the Persians, but most Greeks still feared and disliked the Persians.
This is the end of the Persian Wars.
So we have been through the beginning of the Persian War, which was the Battle of Marathon.
Then we had an interview with Darius I in Darius's palace.
Then we went over all the achievements of art, literature, writing, architecture, and more.
Then we had an exclusive interview with Pericles.
After that, we had all of the amazing art achievements that happened during the Golden Age.
Then we did a conclusion of the Persian War, including the Battle of Thermopylae, which was between the Greeks and the Xerxes, the destruction of Athens, which was when the leader withdrew ships to let the Persians seize the city. Lastly, the Battle of Salamis and Plateau, where the Athens and Greeks fought at sea and the Persians won.
This is the end of Sunday Night Live. We hope you tune in to next time to learn more.